drugs that have 9 times, the suicide impact. And these people these are in healthy patients, right? So we're dealing with severely traumatized and patients that have been, or veterans that have been in combat. The other thing I wanted to mention too as well is, this was a quote that was taken from Peter Ghosh. He says the depression pill epidemic highlights his own research that showed antidepressants double the occurrence of events that can lead to suicide and violence in healthy adult volunteers. So how does these drugs, the 2 approved drugs, Zoloft and Paxil, and fluoxetine, which is Prozac, is also kind of thrown into that. Let's go ahead and treat these guys with these modalities that have this propensity to drive suicidal ideation in the first place, and then put it in a population of patients that's dealing with extreme, transitioning back from being in the Middle East or wherever they were in a combat zone into secular life, and then combine that with being in a trauma or in a battlefield. I mean, it's just mind-blowing to see that that's our first line of defense. That's the best that we can do right now. It's mind-blowing.
Thank you very much. Adam, would you like to respond to that?
Well, first of all, thanks for your service.
Likewise, thank you.
Coming back from Vietnam, my first year was pretty bad. Then I decided I met a woman, I got married, lasted 11 months because I tried to kill her twice in the middle of the night without me knowing about it. Then I met my daughter's mother, and I tried to kill her 3 times in the middle of the night without knowing about it. All of a sudden the VA turned around to me and said, "We're going to put you on Seroquel." Now, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a medical profession, I'm listening to professionals. Come to find out, I found out what Seroquel is all about. And it's an antidepressant, and it's also a sleep additive. I started out at 50 milligram. I am now up to 200 milligram a night. I've been on this drug for the last 25 years. If I don't take it, I'm going to put somebody in their grave, not knowing that I did it. I take the flower at night. I am a one-night smoker. I will take my Seroquel because it puts me in that area. When I take that one night, half a joint, just a half, I'm a lightweight. Yeah. That helps the medication for which they gave me to put me into a deeper sleep. Does the nightmares break through with that medication? Absolutely. And you never know what's going to come about you. 2 weeks ago, I scared my wife so bad in the middle of the night that she left our bedroom and went into the living room to get the dog that she bought me for a service dog to come in and wake me up out of my nightmare. The drugs that the VA are given hurt more veterans, okay? Suicide prevention, you're absolutely correct. They come home from combat. You go see a doctor at the VA. Oh, you're okay, here we're gonna give you Paxil. You're gonna relax for a while. That person is gonna go off in the middle of the day. All right, Seroquel. I went down 2 years ago with heat stroke in Mojave Desert in California. I was in a coma for 3.5 days, not knowing anything. My fiance at the time told the doctors that I was on Seroquel, that I was having major withdrawals in a coma. They had to give it to me in a liquid form to bring me back down. To me, cannabis helps the mind work better at night to take away that depression. If you want depression, drink all day. Alcohol will give you all the depression you need. But when you take your cannabis, whether it be liquid form or flower form, it puts that in a state of your mind that, no, you don't want to commit suicide. What you want to do, you want to get rid of your demons, because that's what's in your head is your demons. Once those demons disappear, and you're not taking those drugs, I can't get off Seroquel right now. If I do, I'll go into such a withdrawal, I'll wind up in the hospital, probably with a heart attack and die. This is what I was told. So now I'm stuck with it for the rest of my life. I turned 70 years old at the end of this month, at the end of December. All right? So you can imagine what I've been done with going through for the last 25 years. Have I thought about suicide? Absolutely. I got a Glock 40, I can put right under my chin and pull the trigger, and it'll be the end of it. But what helps me get away from that is I have 2 daughters, I have a grandson, I got a 3rd wife, still paying a mortgage, and now I got a dog. So, this is the best industry coming out today to help the veterans that are coming back from a war zone. And if you've never been in war, I hope to God you never have to go. Because what you see, what you do, and how you feel when you've done all those things that come back home and try to get into civilian life, you're in bad shape. So the VA has to step up. The VFW, which I'm the commander of the post in Williamstown, New Jersey, the VFW National is putting on a flight in Massachusetts to help the cannabis industry help the veterans that are served in Vietnam and now have served in Iraq and Afghanistan, okay, to try to get these guys help. But the problem here is, again, it's the government. The minute you put that in your system, you can kiss goodbye any medication at the VA offers you because they won't cover you, because the government doesn't approve.